For you who do know, I'm an avid Star Wars fan. I've been a Star Wars fan longer than I can remember, and so I decided, why not rank the Star Wars movies, all 11 of them, including the George Lucas ones and Disney ones. So I'll be going from worst to best, in my opinion, of course. This is all in my opinion. So yeah, here we go. Number 11, we have The Last Jedi. I really don't like this movie, and many other people can agree with me on this. The Last Jedi has a lot of flaws, but I really don't want to point out all the flaws, but I will with some. I really didn't like just the overall story they had to tell in this movie, and how they did Luke's character especially, making him seem like a coward, when really he shouldn't be. But one thing I do like about this movie is the effects, but the effects shouldn't make a movie great. Effects should be like a cherry on top, and that's all that the Disney trilogy has is effects. But I did like the dreadnought scene at the beginning of the movie, because I don't know, I'm just a sucker for space battles. I will admit that, and this movie does perfect them, well, to the point. So yeah, here's my number 11 pick. Much surprise, huh? At my 10th pick, I have the Rise of Skywalker. I really didn't like the ending, like especially when Rey stands up and tries to face Palpatine, and we heard the Jedi's Force ghosts, the voices, but we didn't get to see them. That would have been cool if we saw all of them, like how we heard Kanan and Ahsoka. And I just don't like how just somehow magically Palpatine's back. Makes no sense. I really hope that they're able to clarify it later down the line, maybe with the Mandalorian. Who knows? But for the ending of the saga, it was crap. With how Endgame went, for it being 3.5 hours, it was a really good ending. And they brought new beginnings, or the potential. There's no new beginnings you can go from here. Maybe Rey becomes the Grandmaster of the Jedi. I really hope not. And that Finn's being trained as a Jedi, but I really doubt that'll happen. They should have just made Finn the main Jedi the whole time. That his character arc would have been more interesting because he was a stormtrooper, and a stormtrooper turning into a Jedi, that would have been cool. There's just a lot of problems with this movie. There's a lot of problems with the sequels. I'm pretty sure everybody knows that, except for sequel fans. No hate though. One thing I do like about this movie is how they put Lando back. Lando's pretty cool. So yeah, that's the only thing I could say. At number 9, we got The Force Awakens. And I think it's either this movie or Han Solo that came in close. The Solo movie, I mean. Because honestly, the Solo movie is pretty fun. But this movie, I don't know. I think they go hand to hand. But one thing that puts this below the Solo movie, in my opinion, is that it's a copy and paste to A New Hope. The Force Awakens went up to A New Hope was like, can I copy your homework? And then A New Hope was like, sure, but change it up a little so it doesn't look like you're copying. And that's exactly what happened. I don't know why they would do this. Well, actually I do know. I know they're trying to keep it safe and all, but they could at least done something different. This movie was just so boring at times. Everything felt so rushed. It just wasn't a satisfying movie to watch at all. I wish they at least did something different. Like Finn. I mean, they did Finn pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. I just wish that him and Rey went hand in hand later on in the movies, is what I'm trying to say. And not that Rey just takes over as the main character. I would have liked 2 main Jedi, because that would have been cool if they had just 2 main Jedi taking the spotlight. I don't know, but that's just my opinion. But overall, this movie gets the 9th spot. What is this, number 8? I think, yeah. So coming in at number 8, I got the Solo movie. Like I said before, this movie is a pretty fun movie to watch. I enjoy watching it. I can rewatch it a few times. One thing I do give this movie is that it's a different take, because like it's meant to be a story, like a side story, and I like this movie and all. Like, just because I put it close to the sequels doesn't mean it's a bad movie necessarily. It's just all these other movies are just so much better. One thing I can like say that this movie did wrong was that they gave Han Solo like this hero story, when really he's like this scoundrel that doesn't seem like he had a hero moment at all in his life in A New Hope. So yeah, but I like how they introduced Lando and Chewbacca, especially Chewbacca's part, because like you wouldn't think that'd be the case, how they'd meet, but they did. I like how Childish Gambino is Lando. I think he played it pretty well, pretty good. And L3 is like his girlfriend or whatever. But I also like that Woody Harrelson's in this movie, because like there's these actors you just wouldn't think would be in a Star Wars, but they're in Star Wars. So I like all the like trooper additions. Like, if you know me, I'm a sucker for troopers, especially clone troopers. But like, what is it? Those like I don't even know what they're called, but like those troopers that have like the magnetic boots. Those ones are cool. And then the patrol ones on Corellia, I think it was. But yeah, I also like what they did with the Millennium Falcon. Also, how they showed Darth Maul at the end. This movie is just fun to watch. I might just go watch it right now. But I'm just getting in the mood for Star Wars in general, so yeah. Coming in at number 7, I got the Phantom Menace. Now, like I said with the Han Solo movie, just because I put it this low doesn't mean the movie's bad. It's just I would rather much prefer to watch the other movies, because this movie is choppy at times. Like little Anakin, the parts gets annoying at times. The Jar Jar parts, I'm not saying I dislike Jar Jar, it's just some of his parts get annoying, like especially when he's with Boss Nass and the Gungans on Naboo. I just don't want to watch that. I would rather see like Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan with their stuff, what they're doing. And overall, I like this movie to an extent, but like I said, I would just rather much watch the Phantom Menace. What am I talking about? I would rather much Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith over the Phantom Menace, because I objectively think they're just so much better. I like the droids in this, because then it just opens up for the Clone Wars later with the droidicas, as you just saw. But things felt very like original trilogy in this movie at times, which is what I liked. Because overall, I didn't like how they added politics to Star Wars. And I know people were saying Star Wars is all about politics, but like, I feel like they added a little too much politics into Star Wars. I just want to see the, the lightsabers, the shootings and stuff, the starfighters. Like when they go into space and they fight the Trade Federation, that's what I want to see. But yeah, I also love all the stuff with the Jedi and the pod racer scene, especially one of my favorites. But of course, you're gonna have to love Duel of the Fates, one of the nicest lightsaber fights out there. At number 6, we got Rogue One. Now, Rogue One is a fun movie to watch, I feel like, for every kind of Star Wars fan. Especially the original trilogy and the prequels, more or less. You get hints from the Clone Wars in the prequels at times, like especially with the addition of Saw Gerrera in this. And overall, this movie's pretty fun to watch and is really good. I think it's the best movie that has came from Disney Star Wars. I like the addition of Chopper from the Ghost Crew, and you get to see the ghosts at times. And especially with the addition of Darth Vader. Darth Vader just added like this presence to movie we get at the end. Like when you just see Darth Vader, stuff's about to go down, especially with that choking scene he has with Krennic. But I like how they show us the early stages of the Death Star, how it entirely wasn't a planet killer at first, because they had to test it and see what its capabilities were. Overall, like I said, this movie's pretty fun to watch. I could honestly rewatch this over and over again. Just in seeing the Saw Gerrera parts gets me excited because I love the Clone Wars, and we saw Saw Gerrera and Rebels and the Clone Wars. Seeing all the battles like in space too, like I said, I love space battles, and just seeing the amount of space battles we got, or stuff having to do with starfighters and all the fighting like on Scarif as well. I really like this movie. I might go to say I love this movie because it is a really, really fun movie to watch. Coming in at number 5, we have the Attack of the Clones. Growing up and being a Star Wars fan, this is always my favorite Star Wars movie to watch because I didn't really pay attention to all the stuff that would happen with Anakin and Padme, like how people say why this movie is bad. Like, I didn't look at that because I was younger, of course. I just always loved this movie for the Geonosian scene and the stuff in Kamino, because I am a sucker for clones. I'll admit that. I love clones. Like, that's why I love the Clone Wars so much. You get to know the clones. That was literally the only reason why I'd watch this movie sometimes, just to skip to go to the clone stuff, because I was younger. But as time goes on and as I get older and I rewatch this movie, yes, I can agree. The like romantic stuff between Anakin and Padme, it's a bit awkward and just cringy to watch at times. But it's what makes the movie, you know? What else can you say? But you can't lie. Some parts of the movie, like elements, are pretty great. Like with the bounty hunter stuff Obi-Wan has to go through, the Yoda and Dooku fight, but seeing Anakin and Obi-Wan duel Dooku just get their butts handled too. No cursing. I just really enjoyed this movie. But of course, there's other Star Wars movies I far enjoy more than this. But anyways, what else could I say I love about this movie? Oh, all the memes you can make from these prequel movies, man. Just so amazing. So yeah. Coming in at number 4, we have Episode 4, A New Hope. This movie is amazing. Such a great movie. If you're going to watch Star Wars, this is the movie you're going to want to watch. It was the first movie to come out from the Star Wars franchise, if you will. And this movie just has about everything in it. It's a really great movie. Though people could say that the acting and the lines that they use in the movie are cheesy. Yeah, that the visuals aren't great, but this was made in 1977. Keep that in mind. And they had to remaster a few times to increase the quality of it all. But overall, it's a great movie if you actually sit down and watch it. I mean, I highly recommend it. It's the Star Wars movie. It was Star Wars before it became A New Hope, before the trilogy was set in mind. But if you don't know this, you guys probably don't know this, but this is the third Star Wars movie I watched. For being the third, I love it. I love the original trilogy, but the prequels are always probably going to be my favorite. Just because it's the prequels and I like the lightsaber fights and the clone troopers. But this this trilogy is just amazing. I don't know any other way to put it. This trilogy is great. Coming in at number 3, we have Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi was the second Star Wars movie I've ever saw. And I love this movie even more than I love A New Hope. I know a lot of people don't like this movie necessarily for like how like boring the Endor parts can get, because I've heard that a lot actually. But I love this movie, I really do. I just like the whole Jabba like rescue Han Solo part. Don't like how they did Boba, but of course we got his redemption in The Mandalorian. Afterward we go see Yoda, you know. Then we have all the Endor stuff. And then we have Lando and the Death Star. Then of course we have the final duel on the Death Star between Vader and Luke. Yeah, and of course, it's the ending of Luke's father, Anakin Skywalker, or Darth Vader. And I feel like it's a great ending for him. He gets to redeem himself after all the crimes he has committed. Oh. But it's a great movie. We see new ships, like I'm pretty sure we see the A-Wing. There's also the TIE Interceptor. We see they come out, that's new. But overall, this movie is just really great and just really fun to watch. Yeah. Coming in at number 2, we have The Empire Strikes Back. Now this right here was the first Star Wars movie I ever watched. I remember watching it too. I remember being so fascinated at seeing Luke Skywalker use the Force, like it was magic. I remember the AT-ATs, or the AT-ATs, whatever, on Hoth. Just seeing Yoda learning about the Force, and then seeing Boba Fett. See, that's when I truly fell in love with that character. I don't know, just the look of him. I like Boba Fett. Maybe the love for the character fell in love, but with the resurgence of the Mandalorian, maybe really like the character again. This movie is just great to watch in general. Just seeing the dynamics of everything. Cloud City, the crater with the worm that the Millennium Falcon had to hide in. You had Dagobah. You had just about everything. Some people might consider it to be one of the greatest movies of all time. I could say it. Because I just really enjoy this movie. Hell, this movie probably has one of the greatest or biggest plot twists in just movie history, with Vader being Luke's father. I just love this movie and I can't praise it enough. I could go on and on, but some of us have limited time. Coming in at number 1, by far my most favorite Star Wars movie, Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith is an amazing movie. I don't want to sound like those typical, stereotypical prequel fans. I just genuinely enjoy this movie. Now, I just love the whole movie in general. Maybe there's some parts where I'm like, eh. But just the amount of prequel memes that can come out of this. This movie has such a great story to tell in it. Just the whole time. Things seem very tense the whole time. I just really love this movie. From the beginning to the end, it's an emotional joyride, or roller coaster, if I could say. But at the end, one thing that this movie can truly convey is the message of hope. It leaves you with hope. Yeah, the Empire took over, but we have Luke and Leia here. They might save the galaxy one day. This movie just conveys hope. And that's what Star Wars is all about. I mean, it's all about family, but that's the thing with Luke. It's all about hope. Order 66 hits emotional. Hell, a lot of the movie's emotional and just drops your jaw sometimes. That's just how great this movie is. Especially since we get to see more Yoda fighting. That's another thing. I want to see more Yoda fights in the future. I want to see a lot more things that have to go in with this. We saw the Clone Wars Season 7. But there's definitely got to be more. There has to be. We need to see more things after Order 66. What happened? I know we're going to get to see the Bad Batch. But I feel like there needs to be more because there's a lot of space we can get. But yeah. This is the movie I'd pick at number 1. I say my tier list is just about perfect. If I do say so myself. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. What surprise, this is a longer video than normal. But anyways, I want to thank you for watching. And if you really enjoyed it, or just enjoyed hearing me talking about Star Wars, leave a like. Subscribe if you want. I really don't ask for that often, but if you can, I'd greatly appreciate it. Just trying to get up there, if you know what I'm saying. And hell, since you made it this far, just comment something in the comment section, something like, I don't know, Boba Fett is green. Just comment that. Boba Fett is green. So I know you you stay to the end and you know. So anyways, I'm just gonna go because I'm really tired and I'm probably gonna go to sleep soon. So talk to you on the next one. Later.